Welcome to the Backpacking Podcast. As always, I'm here with my good friend, the redheaded king of Kentucky backpacking, who is struggling through some major internet issues today. My good friend, Jeremiah Stringer, who called me racist before we started this thing tonight. And I did nothing racist, Jeremiah. That was very rude of you.
Well, for those people that are just listening and not watching, I have my, it has many names. What did you call it?
It's a parka.
Mexican parka.
Yeah.
Some people call them a drug rug or a stoner hoodie, I've heard it called. I got this in Guatemala on a mission trip, and I'm pretty sure it comes straight from China to one of the bazaar markets. And I just bought a Chinese-made good in Guatemala. But yeah, that's my little hoodie.
Well, man, I'm just glad you're on here because it was kind of iffy as to whether or not you were actually going to get on here at this point. So,
yeah, but we're here, and hopefully I'll be here for the entire show. I'm excited.
Dude, this is going to be a good one. Okay, this is one we've had set up for like a couple months now, and they've been doing the whole podcast circuit basically because they're so popular and everybody loves them. And even Taps and Trail is on here right now. Yay, Mommy and me, Hunter and I are watching. And so we're excited to have both of them on here, recent Appalachian Trail finishers themselves. We know Hunter really well, and we're actually going to have them on the show here in a few weeks. So we're kind of excited about that. But tonight, our guests are a mother-daughter team. Oh, Poncho, look at this. We got Midwest Backpacker telling us it's a poncho. I'm not going to read the other one that Hunter said, but there is the rug. But tonight we've got a mother-daughter duo who just recently in the last few months finished up the Appalachian Trail. Awesome story. We're going to let them be the ones that tell it, but let's welcome to the show Supermom and Supergirl, Kayla and Fynleigh. How are you guys doing?
Woo, hey, good. How are you?
Oh, we're so glad you guys are on here. This is going to be an awesome night. This is just going to be an awesome night.
So you guys hiked the AT. Let's start from the very beginning. What had you ever done backpacking before, and did you have to convince Fynleigh to go?
No, we have not had very much backpacking experience prior to the AT. We did a lot of day hiking around Columbus area, Ohio, where we're from. But we didn't start overnight backpacking, doing weekend trips until a year or two before we decided to do the AT. We started training with some overnight hikes. Convincing, she didn't take much convincing. I just kind of came up with the idea sporadically and said, do you want to hike 2,000 miles with me? And she said, sure thing.
And awesome. Fynleigh, how old are you?
How old are you?
Oh, 7.
Oh, 7. Wow. So young to hike the AT. I feel like she's lived a longer, more experienced life than me to have done that trail.
Hey, Fynleigh, I asked you a question beforehand because I wanted to make sure you had time to think of the answer. And you thought long and hard about it. But what was the hardest part about doing the Appalachian Trail for you?
Probably the hissing knots, for sure.
Okay, and why is that?
The rock scrambling, it was just giant boulders and big drop-offs that kind of scared me, so I just didn't like it.
And you've got short legs because you're 7.
Yeah.
So it's not.
Also, we didn't have any food, so.
Oh, that'll do it.
Yeah, we were pretty low on food that day, so we had a long day. And it was
man,
not great.
So I saw a post of yours on Instagram. I think it was either yesterday or maybe the day before. Maybe it was today. I don't know, but it was basically something about how much you love trail magic.
Yes, for sure.
So tell us about trail magic for you guys on the AT. Oh, look how big those eyes just got. Look at that.
We love trail magic. It really did. It helped us keep going throughout the trail. But I think our first trail magic was only like 2 days in, probably, or 2 or 3. Woody Gap, which I think is about 20 miles in. And it was so exciting when we saw the truck there and we saw McDonald's sandwiches. We just got so excited. And it was nice to have those comforts when you're cold or wet, just having somebody bring you something special makes it nice. Makes you want to keep going.
And you guys, like you mentioned something about you guys are making plans for trail magic. What's going on there?
Yeah, well, we had a lot of people who followed us on Instagram who would message me and want to do things for us. And at first I was kind of like, hesitant because, you don't usually accept offers from strangers, especially to like get in their car and go to their house and you don't even know them. But after a while, we just started giving into those requests and we got some awesome experiences out of it. So I'm glad we did.
Oh, that's
Wow.
great.
Yeah.
That's
So
great.
the Appalachian Trail, it has shelters all along it.
Mhm.
So did you all utilize a lot of those shelters, or did you prefer to kind of set up your own tent situation and
Set up
sleep in
tent.
there away from
Yeah,
sleep
that
in
was
the
quick.
tent?
That was quick.
We did try to stay away from the shelters a little bit.
She didn't like mice.
I don't like mice. I don't do mice at all.
Neither did I.
So I was a little sketched out by the mouse situation. Also, just having a kid, I don't know, just the big social aspect of the AT. There's a lot of adult stuff going on. So I tried to keep her away from a lot of the big crowds, just for her and for the other people who maybe didn't want to be around a 7-year-old all night. But so we stuck to our tent most of the time. We stayed in shelters a few times when the weather was really bad, but most
So
of the time.
Fynleigh, how long did it take you to get used to sleeping in a tent?
I'd say 10 days.
10 days?
10 days.
You were probably pretty tired by that point, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe it. Fynleigh, you are not lacking in personality at all. I just want you to know that. You have so much personality. It's great. Okay, so let me ask you this. It's mother-daughter. At what points did you guys drive each other crazy?
Day one.
Day 1, day 50, day 22.
Yeah.
A lot of days.
Yeah, I think after the first week, maybe like the first week we were on like a really big high. Like, this is so awesome. We're out here doing it. And then we started getting on each other's nerves instantly. So there was a lot of fighting along the way.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Now, being that you're normal people, how much whining was there?
Not a ton, honestly.
Good.
In the hiking aspect, she barely whined about anything. I'm proud of her for that. She was a trooper when it came to weather and miles. It was mostly just like whining about getting up in the morning, and it was both of us in the morning. We're not morning people, so we were whining in the morning. But other than that, not too much whining, especially on her end. I probably
That's
did more
awesome.
whining.
That's awesome.
She cried through Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine.
You're not going to get away with anything tonight, are you,
No.
Kayla? Nothing.
Definitely not.
So while you all were out there, I mean, that's a long journey. Was there any points where you all were like, well, this has been really great and I'm glad we did it, but I think it might be time to go ahead, no pun intended, to go ahead and pack it up and get out of here. Let's walk on home instead of keep going.
Yeah. Probably didn't happen until Maine for me. I think southern Maine, like as soon as we got to Maine, it started getting really, really challenging for me mentally and physically.
She didn't like Maine.
No, I loved Maine, but the beginning was definitely tough, and I was done at that point. I was really exhausted. And yeah, I remember talking to my dad on the phone one day. I was like, we made it to Maine. Like, I walked from Georgia to Maine. What is Katahdin? Why don't we just end it now on a good note? So that's the only time I ever considered like going home, and it wasn't really a serious thought. It was just kind of like, I'm really tired and I want to get this over with.
But I would say that being the fact that you defeated that had to be a huge accomplishment.
Oh yeah,
knowing how you were feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I screamed on Katahdin.
Jeff Peters has a really good question.
Yeah,
I'll
I saw
put it
that.
up on the screen here. Jeff says, how much weight was Fynleigh carrying?
Do you remember how much weight you were carrying?
Up to about 9 to 13 pounds.
Yeah, it hovered somewhere around 10 pounds, between 10 and 12. 12 was on the heavier day when she carried out a lot of peaches or something, Barbies, but usually around 10 pounds.
And Fynleigh did. Oh, sorry, John.
Go ahead. You're good.
I just wanted to know. You mentioned like toys and stuff there, Fynleigh. Were there some stuff that you brought and you're like, wow, boy, this was useless. I should have just left this at home. What all did you bring that you're like, oh, I'm ready to throw this in the trash?
Yeah, there was a bunch of stuff.
What stuff? What stuff did you want to send home?
the Barbies.
We swapped out a lot of toys.
Yeah.
So we started off with like some games like Uno and
Oh,
What
and
else
I
do we have?
also got a
Checkers.
Pac-Man.
yeah, we
Pac-Man.
swapped them out. So she gets sick of carrying some toys, and then we'd swap them out for other toys and send those home and kind of rotated.
Wow.
But she
So
played with pretty much everything she carried.
So mostly, were you carrying most of the food? Obviously, you were carrying the tent.
Yes.
So what exactly did you have in your pack, Fynleigh? What kind of things were you carrying in yours?
A sleeping bag, a clothes bag, my puffy, my rain gear, some snacks, obviously toys.
Obviously.
And in the beginning, I carried a little mug, a travel mug,
Right.
and my kite. Yes.
Now, did you drink a lot of hot chocolate out on the trail?
Yes.
Oh yeah, we had a lot in the very beginning. We drank lots of hot chocolate.
Yeah.
I'll say that's hot. That's kid hot. That's kid coffee. Is
Oh,
what
yeah.
that is. That's kid coffee. Got another really good question from the chat window. This is Karen Griswold. Fynleigh, what did you think of Mount Washington?
I didn't like the wind. For sure. And yeah, I liked it. I like seeing the trains. And before that, we stayed at Lakes of the Clouds. So
Very
that was
cool.
Now,
Very
Kelsey,
cool.
if you think back, so now you've done it with a child, what are some of the bigger challenges that you faced having Fynleigh with you versus if we removed her from the equation? I mean, we love her very much. She got to enjoy it. But let's say, hypothetically speaking,
Yeah.
that she wasn't able to go on the journey with you. And I know that you'd really miss her and everything, but what are some of those big challenges that you faced with her versus what you would have faced if you went solo or if you had went with a friend or something like that?
Sure. One, I would have a much lighter pack. I was eating a lot of weight in food. She eats a lot. Growing kid, she ate constantly. So some days I could barely fit my food bag into my pack. It was so big. So I'd
Oh wow.
have a lot easier pack to carry. I would go a lot faster. Sorry. But her little legs don't move that fast. So we did hike very slow. So I would, and I'm a fast walker.
0.5 miles per hour.
Yeah, sometimes.
Wow.
Okay.
Not that slow. unless like maybe the whites we were like 0.5 miles per hour. But so yeah, it was definitely slow going with her. What else?
So how many miles did you get a day? Just out of curiosity.
Gosh, we were kind of all over the place. We started off doing like 8 to 10. I think our sweet spot was probably like 16, 17. And then our longest day was 24 miles. So we were kind of all over, just depending on where we were. And
24 is a big day.
yeah, we did 2 24-mile days and several over 20. So
that's awesome.
Wow. That's too
That's
much for me.
awesome.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't
it was
imagine.
too much for us too.
Yeah, that would
Pretty
put me
long.
out of commission. I would have to take several days off if I did a couple of 24 milers.
Yeah.
So how did you guys like the ponies at Grayson Highlands?
We love them. Love them. That was like her favorite part. Well, the first time we went through, it was in April, the end of April. I don't know where she's going. And it was the worst weather we got. It was snowing, icy. It was horrible. And I was so excited to get to the ponies, and I was so bummed because when we finally got there, I was like too cold to even enjoy it. So we kept having the walk to keep ourselves warm. So we didn't get to stay long and socialize, but we actually just went back for the Alda gathering that was in Virginia. So we were really close to Grayson Highlands. So we did go back to visit the ponies, and it was a much prettier day.
And we saw 6 ponies.
Yeah, about 6 ponies each time, really.
Fynleigh, can I tell you something?
Yes.
I went to Grayson Highlands last year. I didn't see one stinking pony the entire time I was there.
Oh no.
What?
I didn't see one. I was so mad.
Oh.
The trick is to get
Oh, get an
An
apple?
apple.
Not that we did that. That's
No,
bad.
not at all. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Yeah, we went down there and there were nobody saw horses. Like we think we
no.
heard a couple of them at one point when we were on
Yeah.
trail, but yeah, they were nowhere. I couldn't
Aw,
believe it. It was a great trip, and here it is, Hunter. He was with me. We didn't see a single one.
Aw, that really stinks. The first time we went through, we really had to search for them. We had to go off the AT a little bit to find them, but the second time they were plentiful.
Yep. Although we did see campfires going.
Oh
We
yeah.
did see that out there.
Oh no.
So
I went there, and sorry, John, to tell you, but there's tons of ponies everywhere. Not only ponies, like not only horses, like they're little, but there were like newborn ponies out there,
Aw.
and people were trying to pet them and stuff. But the mothers were really protective over the ponies.
Yeah.
We saw a bunch. It was like right around trail days a few years ago, and they come up and they try to lick the sweat off of you, and yeah, they're cute.
yeah,
but
up
I'm
trail.
still
Bob
scared
says
of
he
them.
saw at least a dozen in July. Man, it's so disappointing. Like the whole point of going down there was to see the ponies. Like
Right.
it was to hang out with Miyagi and Trips and Hunter, and to go see
The
ponies.
ponies. Yeah,
And we
that's
get
the
down there and we see no ponies, none. I'm so disappointed. And like
you'll have to go back.
I am definitely going back.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely going back. But man, we got another question for you guys.
Yeah.
Shane Wolf says, I have 2 daughters, 7 and 10 years old. We just started backpacking together this year. If you could only share one thing about your hike, what would you tell other kids your age, Fynleigh?
What would you tell the jury about your hike?
It was hard. And if you're just at a certain point where you were like, this is tiring, I don't want to do this anymore, just ask your parent if they see any like towns or food or anything that motivates you.
And set small goals.
Yeah. Set small goals.
Nice.
That's
That's a
really
good.
good
That's
advice.
really, really good advice. We're
I'm
getting
curious.
picked on right now, Jeremiah. We're getting picked on.
Why?
Loving Jeremiah's auto tune tonight.
That's probably my internet.
That's definitely your internet. And then the Pizza Ninja's wondering if someone slipped some pony repellent on me. No Pizza Ninja. There was no pony repellent. I just had bad luck. And then also Jeremiah sounded like T-Pain for a second. So
for those that joined late, man, I'm here, but I'm hanging by a thread. So, Kelsey, I'm curious. I'm a high school
Kayla.
teacher.
It's Caleb.
Oh, sorry. I keep saying Kelsey. I'm so sorry. Caleb. So I'm curious. I am a high school teacher.
Yeah.
And so were you homeschooling before, or did you homeschool on the trail, or did you put a pause on the education, or how did you make those decisions?
Actually, she was enrolled. She goes to a private school here in our town, and they were very supportive about the trail, and they made a
giant gift for me,
well,
and they had a giant gift basket for me.
they did. But anyway, they
Well-
made like a trail schooling plan for us, so she could still stay enrolled at school and still meet all the requirements. So we were supposed to read and journal every night on the trail.
Which we didn't.
We definitely did. And then when we were in town, she was supposed to get online and do like her math assessments and reading assessments and stuff like that. So they were very supportive and helpful, continuing her
That's
education through the trail.
That's awesome. What was in the gift basket,
Oof,
Fynleigh?
so much stuff. Remember?
A giant bag of Hershey Kisses.
Ooh.
Hot hands. A bunch of hot hands. A Sawyer squeeze.
Oh, you got a water filter. That's awesome.
Lots of
Yeah,
little
yes.
camping stuff. It was a while ago.
And there was also a present for my birthday.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And each of her classmates drew her a little picture, a good luck picture, and card and stuff. It
Oh
was really
yeah.
sweet.
One person drew.
Oh, we're gonna get show and tell now.
Yeah.
That is really refreshing on the schooling, because
Yes. Yeah.
sometimes I feel like there's too much emphasis on the like material and not enough on the experience. Look at
Oh, look
that.
at that. For our listeners who aren't seeing the video right now, she's holding up a picture that was drawn with it's basically someone drew her hiking out on the AT. It's a really cool little picture.
Really good too. Okay.
Yeah, so I think that a lot of times, if you can have those life changing experiences
Mhm.
like you've given her, it's much more valuable than the whatever few months that you would have missed in
Yes,
direct classroom instruction.
for sure.
Yeah, look, John. John just put up the fake news ticker.
Oh, the fake news has got to go. Like we got the fake news going. So people, if you're listening online, you don't get to see it, but if you're watching on YouTube right now, you're seeing it. But okay, so let me ask this because I've got a little 4-year-old girl, and Kayla, this is for you.
Okay.
What was the hardest thing about hiking with your daughter?
I'd say hiking slow was the
Yeah.
hardest for me because just me as a person, I'm always in a hurry for everything.
Mhm.
So, and that was kind of, one of my goals for hiking the AT was to learn to slow down and just, embrace the moment. I don't think I did very well learning that, but we made it.
Well, I know for me, like I see like these places you have to climb and stand on top of and the ledges, and me being a dad, maybe it's a dad thing, but having my little girl on these ledges like terrifies me to some
Yeah.
extent. Like I'm just worried like my daughter's just gonna run off the side and die, and then I'm the
Yeah.
worst dad in the history of mankind. So
Yeah.
was there any of that for you out there with some of those areas, or was it just kind of like after a while you're just like, this is
No,
it?
I never really was worried about her. And she's a very careful kid. So just even for like the water crossings and stuff, she always really took her time and was very careful about her foot placement. So I think in that aspect that helped me calm down a little. It's not like she was like running towards the cliffs and stuff ever. So she was very cautious. There were some, I guess, scary moments. Like we went down after Dragon's Tooth. I don't know if you've been in that area.
Like
But
a
it was
family
like
actually
a
there.
hard descent, and it was really like steep and skinny. And we did it after
Slick.
we did it right after the rains. It was really wet.
Ooh.
That was the first time I was really kind of like worried that she was gonna hurt herself. And then she told me, "Be careful, Mom. If you fall, you're not coming back." So that's the first time I think she was concerned about me not coming back. So
Wow. So what was your favorite view? What was the spot on the trail where it's just like when you go back, I would love to go back there?
oh, so many. She says South Kinsman. I can't even remember what that looked like.
South Kingsman.
I think it was Kinsman. Kinsman.
It was
It's not
Kingsman.
Kinsman. Let's see. My gosh, we have so many amazing views. We got an amazing sunrise and sunset from Mount Killington.
That was
So
also one.
that was pretty bomb.
That was mine too.
Where else? Max Patch was amazing. Gosh,
Now
I love Mount.
Killington,
He wasn't
Yeah.
asking for your sunset.
I'm just saying, I have good views.
Killington, that's in Vermont, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did the Vermont Long Trail, which it runs across Killington too. And
Yeah.
don't you have to hop off the trail and blue blaze up there to get
Yeah.
to the top?
It is a
Yeah.
blue blaze. And we actually didn't take the really steep blue blaze. We took another one around like the lodge.
It was easy.
It was an easy blue blaze up, but I can't remember what it was called. But
Did the lodge, did it have tent platforms and stuff outside?
no, but we illegally camped.
Oh, okay.
I didn't hear
dropped-
anything. I heard nothing. I heard nothing.
we dropped back there and we climbed up Killington, and that was one of my first big views whenever I was through hiking that trail. And if I remember right, it's like 360-degree view.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful. And then we come back down. I saw a porcupine on the way back down. The first
We
one
saw
I ever
two
saw.
on the trail. That was
Yeah,
the cutest animal I saw out
We
there.
saw baby and mama.
We did.
What?
It was kind of like you guys, wasn't it?
Well,
It's kind of like you guys.
yeah.
It's just a porcupine
Mountain
version.
Porcupine.
There you go.
It was hiking the trail too.
Yeah.
There you go. Well,
I
Fynleigh,
saw
here's a
one
good
of those.
question for you.
Huh?
Oh, go ahead,
Go ahead.
Jeremiah. Go ahead real quick.
Oh, I was just gonna say we come back down off of Killington Peak, and a chipmunk had got in. It chewed through one of my friends' bag and
Oh, no.
had like pulled out. I think that he had like a Nutri-Grain bar or something that he had just stuck the wrapper down in his water bottle pocket, and then there's chipmunks running around all over the place there, and it had chewed through his pack and pulled that out.
Oh, my
Yeah,
goodness.
gear destroyed.
Nice. So the Pizza Ninja has a really good question for you guys.
Oh my
Any good trail magic along the way? What was your all's favorite trail magic?
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
We
Oh,
had.
I don't have a favorite.
Yeah, I can't.
Oh.
We had so many good ones. We did have one that was themed. A lady named Pineapple. She did like a luau themed trail magic, and she had everything you could think of. She had like vegan stuff and just something for everyone. She made us little like fruity drinks, so she really went out of her way. That was one of my favorites.
That one too.
And then just all the people that like gave us rides into town and let us stay at their houses and stuff that we didn't even know. Those are all my favorite trail magics.
That's just how. Okay, so after you've done it a few times, it's like old hat. You don't think about it, but that
Yeah.
first night, how weird was that for you guys?
Very weird. Yeah.
There was like 50 people.
Wait, which one do you think? What are you talking about?
The very first shelter.
Oh, shelter. I'm talking about trail magic. But like the first time someone, like we were at in the Shenandoahs eating at one of the waysides, and some lady came up and she was like, "Oh my gosh, are you Mommy and me?" And she was so excited to meet us, and she said, "Well, it's
Her
just
name is Barry.
yeah," and she has like a hiking group there or something, and she
cool.
said it's just me and my son at my house. Like, would you guys like to come back and stay the night, and you can do laundry, and I'll feed you and
And
everything.
I instantly said yes.
Yeah, and it was super weird because I'm like, this is just a stranger, like, and I have a kid with me. I had to be responsible for her if like someone's a serial killer or something, you know? You just don't know, but I just decided to take this woman up on it, and it was great. She was amazing and really took care of us. It was just a great experience.
She had a dog named Gizmo. Gizmo.
Oh, nice. From Gremlins. You probably don't know that movie.
So there's a big social aspect on the trail, and a lot of times, I know that you said that you're hiking slower, but a lot of times you kind of fall into a group. Did you all at any point have some like leapfrogging back and forth, or hiking along other people, or staying along the same places? Who'd you get to meet out there?
Yeah, for sure. We had like a little tramley going on at the beginning. It was like 5 of us girls, and we called us like the Fab Five and stuff. So they're kind of like our OG tramley. And we still keep in touch with all of them. They're super sweet.
We have one girl's phone number.
Yes, okay. Then yeah, we did a lot of leapfrogging. We saw a lot of the same people, especially towards the end, like the last few hundred miles, we were kind of right by everyone. So we kind of finished in the same time as all the other people we were with. So yeah, we had a lot of friends along the way, even if we weren't like staying right with each other, but we felt
and we were talking about this beforehand. Like you guys got to get a picture with Taylor, the New Hampshire hiker.
Yeah.
And you put in it that for you guys, you met a trail celebrity.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys realize this or not, but you guys are considered trail celebrities by everybody else. Like you guys, your story was all over the place in the trail community. Like
yeah,
everybody in the backpacking world was talking about Mommy and me out there getting their thing done, Supermom and Supergirl, which by the way, where did those names come from? Who gave you the name Supermom and Supergirl?
Freight train.
You want to tell them the story?
Oh yeah. He just thought it was amazing, and he just called me Supergirl, and she got her name by default.
Yeah. So he was like, "Wow, you're 7 years old. That's really super. I'm gonna call you Supergirl." And then I just kind of got Supermom because I was Supergirl's mom. So I guess I'm super too.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Who was your favorite trail celeb?
Who was our favorite trail celeb?
that you met on the trail? Because I know you guys said you met a lot of trail celebs. Who was your favorite?
We did. Well, New Hampshire. She really outdid herself.
Oh my gosh.
She gave us a ride into town and took us out to eat, and just took care of us. Took us to our hostel. So that was really cool getting to meet her. And I watched all of her YouTube videos before we left, so I was a big fan of her. And we also met Nimblewill Nomad, who is the 83-year-old that's hiking. Yeah, so that was pretty cool to meet him. We got to stay at the same hostel with him that night. Who else did we meet? Any other celebs? I don't know. Everyone who hikes the trail is a celeb, I think.
When y'all were going into those towns, did you all decide to do anything besides just like showering and resupplying laundry? Did y'all go see anything? Yeah, what did you do?
One time we took we got off trail and went to this town that was probably a 30-minute drive, just a very expensive shuttle.
That's the one I'm talking
because we wanted to see a movie. We saw they had a movie theater, so we did do that.
Oh, Blacksburg?
Yeah, I think so.
Blacksburg.
So we saw a movie. What else did we do?
Ryan the Last Dragon.
What else did we do? One day we took a 0 day in Harper's Ferry. We went canoeing for like the whole day. So that was
For
fun.
4 hours.
Yeah, it was way too long.
Yeah.
Don't recommend it.
Exhausted from the trail. So what do? Spend hours canoeing.
After like 2 hours, we're like, we still have 2 hours left. Like, what are we gonna do?
That's great.
So yeah, sometimes we just walked around
We
town.
wouldn't recommend the 4-hour one, but definitely the 2 hour.
Oh, okay.
Also, we did love Bennington, Vermont, just because they had a splash pad, and we hung out there for like a whole day too. And libraries. We like to hit up all the libraries. So
That's great.
Well, Unpaved Explorer, he's got a question about the towns. He wants to know, what food cravings did you have whenever you went into the towns?
yeah, I was a jalapeno burger fan. That's pretty much all I craved. Jalapeno burgers and ice cream. What did you crave?
Burgers, pizza, milkshakes. Hold on. I'm thinking my list.
It's got a big list. She was hungry.
Okay. Candy, probably. Like by candy, I like candy. Mostly Sour Patch Kids. Yeah, I think that's all.
Awesome. Well, Midwest Backpacker actually also asked, on top of the food in town, what was your favorite trail food? What was your kind of go-to while you were on the trail?
What's your favorite trail food?
Spaghetti with classic meat sauce.
Yeah, she loved the spaghetti and meat sauce dehydrated meals. So it's like her favorite thing. When we were doing dehydrated meals, like when I had my stove, we did end up sending it home, but I loved the
sweet pork and rice.
Yeah, sweet pork and rice. I think it's the Peak Refuel brand.
Oh yeah, that's really
it's
good.
the best thing I've ever tasted. It was amazing. I ate that all the time. Other than that, I ate straight M&Ms, like almond M&Ms through the whole trail. Pretty much my main food group. So.
Well, I was gonna say, there's no health food eating when you're backpacking the Appalachian Trail. I have yet to meet anybody who's like a health food nut on there. Well, here's another question about the trail. This is a great question. Small goals, I like that. I will note that. Any bears or wildcats while you were on the trail?
No.
Yeah, we saw bears.
Well,
no cats, but we saw 7 bears.
Of course we saw cats, but not like cats.
Yes.
Now, those bears, was that pretty scary?
Yeah.
No. No.
It wasn't scary?
I loved them. I wish I could go up and hug them all, but they tell me I'm not supposed to.
Yeah, that could be a bad idea. That could potentially be a really bad idea.
We only had one like kind of scary bear incident. We did have one right before the Shenandoahs that kept coming to our camp and like trying to get in people's ursacks and stuff. He wouldn't leave, so he kind of a few people packed up and left because he was getting a little crazy. So that was our only bad bear incident.
Nice. So Taps left something on here. Where is it at? There it is. Supergirl and I got our hair wrapped together at Trail Days.
Yes, you did. And actually, she just got hers out. It lasted a long time.
Oh, wow.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
They're so wild.
What is hair wrap together?
It's like they put like string in your hair and like braid it around your hair. I don't really know how it works, but it looks like really cool, and you can put like beads in it and stuff.
I envisioned them tying their hair together, and then they just had to walk beside each other. I was like, man, I don't know how that works.
That's the most uncomfortable way to hike ever. Let's see. Well, we got some more questions. People are really getting in on the questions today, which is really awesome. So people are wanting us we have a game that we play sometimes where we ask questions. And everybody's wanting us to do it, but we don't have any questions because we weren't planning on doing it tonight. But there's a question where we give a backpacker questions, and Jeremiah can't listen to their answers, and then he has to give his answers and see if he's a better backpacker than that person, and he never is.
Okay.
So that person's always better, and so everybody just wants to see that Fynleigh's better than Jeremiah too, I guess. So the Pizza Ninja what's that?
I said, "Oh, you're on."
The Pizza Ninja wants to know, what was your favorite trail game?
Ooh, favorite trail game. Pac-Man. She says we got a little like we stopped at Walgreens in one of the towns, and they had these tiny little Pac-Man games. And I was like, that's a perfect backpacking toy. So we got that, but it was too hard for me to see and play. It's like old eyes, but that was fun.
Yeah.
Did you all play games while you walked?
Yeah, we played some. Fynleigh made up a lot of games. She made up the candy games. We'd have to like make our own candy, a new candy.
That isn't. Like,
and then we got really hungry. And then she had the invention game where we had to like make these new inventions.
That has never been made before. And she made some that were already invented. So.
I'm not very creative.
We've been told, Jeremiah, that we should wrap our beards.
You should.
We
I think
should
she did a
wrap our
couple
beards.
there at Trail Days. She had some beards wrapped.
Jeremiah's is getting there. Jeremiah's actually grown his out to a point where he could probably pull that off now.
Yeah.
So here's a question. This is a great question. Did you guys have any injuries?
No.
Not serious ones.
She thought she had a concussion, and she thinks she broke her hand.
We took some bad stumbles, that's for sure.
Oh, wow.
Well, you took some bad ones, but she definitely got bruised up more than me. Some cuts, but I think I didn't start getting hurt till like southern Maine, maybe the Whites. I don't know, but I took a really bad fall right before Mahoosic Notch on my tailbone, and I couldn't walk right for like the next month. So it hurt like for the rest of the trail. And I also took a fall like somewhere in Maine. It was like on the edge of a waterfall. I thought I was gonna fall off and die, but I hit my head really hard and hit my hand. I think I did break my hand, but never got it looked at. But that was the worst we had it. We never had to get off and go to a doctor or anything. So.
So what happened? Did you just trip, or did you slip, or was it slick, or what?
It was really extremely slick.
It was really slick, and I thought the trail went that way because we stayed at a tent site like across the way, and I thought the trail continued that way, but it didn't. So we had to go back across, and it was just very, very slick. And as soon as I stepped on it, I wiped out.
Ooh.
Yeah, she was like standing there for like 5 seconds, and then boom.
And my Garmin InReach like flew out of pocket and was like right there on the edge of the waterfall. I thought I was gonna lose that. It was just oof.
Were y'all did you use trekking poles? Did that help any?
Nope, not at that point. But they did help most of the way. Yeah, they helped a lot.
Well, I know when I did the Sheltowee Trace a few years ago, there's a little place called Cherritt Creek Lodge, and you go down this trail and you do switchbacks the whole way down, and then you walk across this bridge and then a little road that goes to Cherritt Creek. Well, it had been raining for all 4 days leading up to us getting there. And we get to the bridge. You know how these old wooden bridges are.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you might as well be walking on ice at that point, right? So I'm walking across this bridge. My feet go completely out from underneath me, and I land on my backpack.
Yeah.
And my backpack saved me, because had I landed on my back, I would have been done. Like, I mean, I wish it would have been on video. It would have been incredible to watch. But, like, I've never fallen like that in my life. But my feet were above my head. Like, it just slipped right out from underneath me. I can't imagine doing that on rock, how much that had to hurt.
Oh, yeah.
So that's awesome that you made it through that, because that's scary stuff. So
now
here's a great question. Here's a great question.
Okay,
we got another one online here. Karen Griswold, can you describe how you felt when you summited Katahdin?
Kind of like nervous, excited, and like extremely excited at the same time.
I was like overwhelmed with emotion.
Oh, I thought I was gonna cry.
Yeah. Well, right before I kind of got into an argument with my boyfriend and family, like right before we got to the sign. So that kind of like ruined my moment.
Like she thought her family was being really pouty, so she got really pouty, and it was a big deal about everything.
Well, I was
so happy we summited.
I was in a hurry to get to the sign. I was like excited, and then my family was like really struggling because they did not through hike, so it was a really tough climb for them. So we kept having to stop, and I was getting kind of frustrated. And then they got kind of crappy with me for rushing them and getting upset. So I was kind of like, it kind of took down my excitement a big notch, which kind of stung. But it was still like incredible. I was so excited to see Fynleigh up there and just like, wow, my kid hiked over 2,000 miles. Like, that's amazing. I didn't cry like I thought I was going to. And then I just felt like a big sigh of relief and also kind of sad because it was over.
Yeah.
So a little bit of everything.
Did you guys go through trail depression for a little bit afterwards?
No, I don't think so. You think I'm I don't think so. I wouldn't say depression, but I guess I was really like I did not have a lot of motivation when we got home. Like I thought I was gonna like keep walking and exercising and stuff. To try to like keep up, you know, my fitness levels and all that, but I just kind of wanted to lay on the couch for like 2 weeks.
Well, you earned it.
Yeah. So no, I think jumping right back into the swing of things like work and taking her to school and all that, it kind of kept us occupied enough that we didn't really have time to get sad.
Well, that's good. Did you feel weird being around people in normal life after being on the trail? Because a lot of people say that's something that's weird for them when they do that.
No.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I was really happy to be back with all. I mean, we live in a little town, so we were excited to see everybody again. And yeah, no, I think it was okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So what packs did you guys use while you were out there? Everyone's gonna ask a gear question. You know, gear questions are coming.
Light AF.
Light AF?
She had a Light AF like custom pack. They made it just for her. It was all her measurements and everything. So that was really cool. And then I used the Hyperlight Mountain Gear 3400 Junction, I think.
That's a big pack.
Yeah.
That's a big pack. Of course, you were carrying more than the normal person, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about gear because I was curious if y'all had any gear failures out there.
We had a tent break on the rainiest
what
day
happened?
possible. It seemed. So yeah, we had a big Agnes Tiger Wall, which we really, really loved. And then like the pole, I don't know what you call it, the part of the center hub there like snapped.
Oh.
So it was like hanging on by a thread. I could like get it to stand, but barely. Like if we like pushed the side, it was gonna like collapse on us. So that was stressful. I think that's the only failure we had.
How far up the trail was that when it happened?
It was pretty far up. We probably made it to Vermont, I think is when it. Yeah. It's probably all the rain.
And what did you do once that happened? Did you use it the rest of the trip, or did you swap it out or buy a new one, or what?
We got a copper.
So we tried. Yeah, we tried to fix it. Someone like epoxied it for us, and they're like, "Yeah, this should stay like the rest of the trip." And then
snapped.
the next day out, it snapped again. And then I knew I had to do something. So at that point, I didn't really have time to
She
call.
was looking at things.
I didn't have time to call Big Agnes and get like a replacement. So I had my friend actually drive one out to us, and we got the copper spur, and we used that for the rest of the way. So
That's a great tent. That's a really great tent.
yeah, we love it.
It's a little easier to set up than the Tiger Wall too, which is nice.
Just
So
and what about
Taps has something for you too on here. I remember reading a Gut Hook comment about you two doing a really scary water crossing. How was that for you two? You guys made it on Gut Hook. Well, now it's far out, but yeah, you guys made it on the Gut Hooks. What was that like?
Oh yeah, I wrote a comment on that one. I forget what the water crossing was called.
Cascade Brook.
Yes, maybe it was Cascade Brook.
It was.
But it was like really, really high and everyone in the comments was like, just a simple like rock hop, you know, but I think that was like when it was drier because we went upstream because we thought it looked a little better. And
it wasn't.
Fynleigh, I started in front of her so I could hold her hand to help her up. And she like barely made it onto this rock and was like leaning backwards in the water. Her pack was like in the water and she said, "I'm gonna die." I finally got her up on the rock and I was like, "We can't go this way. Like it's too high. We'll try another way." So we went up a little bit and I just decided I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to just get wet and I'll just carry her across. So, you know, I had her like undo her pack and everything, her straps in case she got swept away. But so I picked her up and then my legs like just went out from under me and I was like, oh no, like we're both going down. It was pretty scary.
And she said the S word, by the way.
I probably said a lot of the S word, yeah. I thought we were goner.
You really aren't getting away with anything tonight, are you?
No.
Nothing.
She likes telling me.
Yeah.
You think that was
this? I was like shaking after that. I thought we were gonna drown, and I'm not very good in the water. I can't swim very well, so.
Oh no.
So is that the scariest moment that you feel like y'all had on trail?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. That sounds pretty frightening. Water, it is so underrated how powerful water is.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't even
Really
up to
is.
my waist probably, and it was like just taking my legs right out.
I mean, even I'm sure for Finley, it's harder, but even for an adult, like
Yeah.
a few inches of water can sweep you off your feet. And then
Oh,
you
yeah.
throw in that you're carrying extra weight. And
Mhm.
also, I mean, with you, you had your kids, so you're looking out for them. It
Yeah.
just takes a little bit, and then,
Yeah.
you're on the ground.
Yeah. So here's another good question. Doesn't Katahdin have an age limit?
Yes. You have to be 6 or older to summit unless you get special permission. So she was good on that. Thank
That's
goodness.
awesome. So what was worse, the hot or cold days?
Oh, hot. The hot for sure. Especially with her. She does not do well in the heat. So I think that was like the most whining I heard from her was from the heat. It really slowed us down a lot.
Yeah. You also get stinkier in the heat too.
Oh, yeah.
What was your all's longest time where you went without a shower? I think mine was like 9 or 10 days.
Ours is probably 9 days. And because we did the 100-mile wilderness, and we really took our time because we had pushed out our summit dates, so we had like all the time in the world. So that's probably the longest. I think we didn't shower till we got to A-Ball Bridge, so I think it was about 9 days. But we did go swimming a few times.
So when you got home, how bad did your gear smell? Because you don't notice it as much when you're on the trail, but man, when you get off the trail,
her backpack smelled like BO.
Oh, it smelled so bad. And my boyfriend was driving us home from Maine, and we had our packs in the back, and I thought he was going to lose his mind. He like Febrezed everything, and he was like, I don't think I'm going to make it home with the stuff in the back. So it smelled really bad. And
I don't remember that because she rode
with him. I didn't really notice it until we got all of our stuff like in the car and it was closed in. Yeah.
Back in 2016, I got to do McAfee Knob.
Yeah.
And I was hiking with a buddy of mine, and there was a guy that was doing the AT, and he needed a hitch to the post office to pick up his food. And he was staying somewhere in town, so he didn't need a ride after that. But we said, yeah, we'll give you a ride because we're outside, it didn't smell bad at all. We got his stuff in that truck of mine. Oh my gosh. And it was in the back of the truck.
Mm-hmm.
And that smell was unreal. That was my first experience with a thru hiker. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm never thru hiking. That is the worst smell I've ever experienced in my entire life. But it was pretty funny. Okay, so a lot of people are asking questions that are relating to each other, and it's something we talked about beforehand. So I'm just going to read all 3 questions, and I already know the answer pretty much, but I'm going to ask it anyways because they need to know. But PCT next year? Triple Crown aspirations? Would you do another thru hike?
No.
I'll leave that up to you guys.
No. She says no.
No.
I say probably not PCT, probably not Triple Crown, but I would consider another thru hike if it was a shorter one.
Okay, yeah.
We've talked about the Colorado Trail would be our next big thing, but
great trail.
We'll just have to see.
Actually, one of the guys who asked, Midwest Backpacker, he's been section hiking the Colorado Trail for a while. So
it looks beautiful. We're actually considering doing that instead of the AT before we did the AT, but yeah, so we would like that one.
How sketched out were you whenever you initially had to hitchhike, or did you already kind of know you're like, we'll be okay with hitchhiking, or was it like, I got a 7-year-old with me, I got to be careful here?
Yeah, so my goal was to never hitchhike at all because I had her, and my parents were going to be totally freaked out if I did that. So that was my main goal, was just to like depend on shuttles or just walking into town. Like I originally I had this whole thing mapped out where our resupply points were close enough to town where we could walk. And then, that doesn't happen all the time. You run out of food or have too much, whatever. So we did end up hitchhiking. When was the first time we hitched? What do you think?
Jumbo Diner. The Jumbo Diner.
The Jumbo Land. Yeah, the Jumbo Land Diner. I forget where that was. But we needed a burger.
It was in
it was like a mile away from the trail.
Shenandoah's, I think. No, it was like 2 miles away. Remember?
It was far. But anyway, it's about to rain, and we're like, we need to make it to the Jumbo Land Diner. So that was the first time we asked for a hitch. And
it was a very nice lady who had dogs.
It was a very nice lady. But yeah, I was definitely sketched out at first. I was like, I don't know, if I should be taking a kid into a stranger's car. It's probably not a good idea, but
She was very
But I think people around there are just used to picking up hikers, and I don't know. I had my knife on me just in case, and nothing bad ever happened, thank goodness.
What did you learn about the trail community being out there? Because like you said, you weren't a real big backpacker before this. So what did you learn about the trail community when you got out there and started doing all this hiking?
Oh my goodness, just that everyone was like so strangely nice. Like I've never met people that were just so nice to strangers.
like it was weird.
Would just take you into their homes and give you the, just the clothes off their back. Honestly, people just really went out of their way to help hikers, and I thought that was just amazing because you don't experience stuff like that in everyday life.
Yeah, I've actually had several people tell me that have done the Appalachian Trail that they regained their hope in humanity
Exactly.
because
Yeah.
of hiking the trail.
It's for real.
Speaking of
Definitely.
people you met, any plans to meet up with the Sutton family, Josh, Cassie, and Harvey?
Oh my gosh. Oh, not yet. But we did hang out with them a lot at the Alda Gathering in Virginia, and they let us sit in on their Q&A session. So that was really cool of them. They're just the sweetest family. I think we should have a little reunion and get together because the kids really hit it off when they hung out. So hopefully we can make that happen.
Yeah, he was my best friend.
Oh.
That's awesome.
That's so cute. What was your all finish date?
September 8th.
Okay.
September 8th.
And how many times have you been hiking since September the 8th?
0.
She earned that couch time. Fynleigh, do you want to?
How many times have we gone hiking since then? But we do have a big trail race coming up, so we got to get back out there.
No, we're gonna do the actual race. We're not gonna make it.
I know.
We're not gonna.
Okay. I have to tell you something. This is important. Okay, Fynleigh? I asked you about this before we got online on the air, that it was going to come up. And somebody was going to ask. The Pizza Ninja would like to know, do you have any poop stories?
Do you have any poop stories?
Yes.
What's your poop story?
So I pooped my pants once.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You did poop your pants. I hear you're not a real thru hiker until you poop your pants, but she's the only one who did.
I'm gonna be honest. You'd be surprised how many of us have those stories. I know I've got one.
Yeah.
So
No, that was it. We were meeting up with these people who were bringing us to Trail Magic, and so they were like busy talking to us, and she was like, "Mom, I have to go to the bathroom," and I was like, "You're just gonna have to hold it. Like, I don't want to be rude to these people." And she's like, "I gotta go. I have to go so bad." Well, anyway, I made her like talk to these people forever, and then when she finally went, she was like, "I went in my pants a little bit." So that was her embarrassing story. I don't really have any poop stories. Oh no, I do. I have a good one. It doesn't involve my poop, but we were hiking one day. This is right before Max Patch, I think.
kind of remember.
This is great. This is like a highlight of my trip. I forgot about this. So we were hiking, and all of a sudden we hear this guy going, "Don't look over here!
Yeah.
Don't look over here!" He was screaming. I thought he was like burying a body or something. And I look over, and he's like got his pants down. He's not that far off the trail, so whatever. And he was like horrified that I was gonna see him poop, and I was like, I probably wouldn't have even noticed him if he hadn't been screaming at me. So then we were like, okay. So then we like hid behind this tree. And then we didn't hear anything else from him for like minutes. And I was like, is he done? Like, can we keep walking? It was so awkward. I felt bad. And then he came up and apologized later. And he was like, I didn't know I was that close to the trail. And I was like, no worries. But it was pretty funny. He was really scared that I had saw him.
Oh, and we saw this ginormous pile of poop. It was like giant.
Oh, we did. Someone like pooped right next to the trail and put their toilet paper on top and didn't cover it up or
It
anything.
was giant. It couldn't come out of a human being.
All right. Could have been a bear.
I like what Kevin Fry says. He goes, "We call those code browns in the hospital." So, oh my goodness. Well, Fynleigh, you are awesome. Like seriously, you're awesome. Kayla, you're awesome. We've only got a few minutes left, but why don't you let everybody kind of know how they can find you guys online so they can keep, because you guys have a YouTube channel
Yeah.
and you're posting pictures on Instagram. So why don't you kind of share everybody how they can find you?
Sure. It's Mommy and Me Adventures on
Look
YouTube.
it up on YouTube or Instagram.
All right. And then it's also Mommy and Me Adventures on Instagram, but there's an underscore under each word.
Oh.
There it is. There it
Try
is.
yeah, I'm going to try to keep doing YouTube videos. I want to try to keep getting better at my videography and editing skills.
She's always.
I have none yet, but
Yeah, she doesn't like videoing. So
I'm not very good at it yet, but I'm going to try.
am.
Oh, well, Fynleigh, you just need to take over the YouTube channel then and do
Yeah.
all the video.
Just be my manager.
No,
Yeah. Nah.
that's lame.
Oh my goodness. You guys have been a blast. This has been a lot of fun. This has been a whole lot of fun. The comments, man, so many comments tonight. So many comments, so many questions. And you guys did a great job answering them. I mean, for a 7-year-old, Fynleigh, you have like little to no fear. Like, you're an impressive young lady. Just letting you know that. Very impressive young lady. Jeremiah, you have anything for these ladies before we let them go?
I got two things. First, let me formally apologize for calling you Kelsey. I don't know how many times. I don't know how many times I said it, but
I think it only
Kayla,
happened
I'm
twice.
sorry.
It only happened twice, I think.
Okay. My second thing is Fynleigh. What do you want to be when you grow up?
A person who works with horses.
A person who works with
Oh.
horses. Very cool.
I want to be a horse whisperer.
All right.
Nice. Nice. That would
That's
be awesome.
awesome.
That
That's
would
all
be
I got.
awesome. Well, if you guys will just hang out in the green room for a few minutes, we're gonna let you guys go on in there, and then we're gonna finish things up. But thank you guys for being here tonight.
Yeah,
This was a
thank you
lot of
for
fun.
having us.
You guys are great.
It's been fun.
Okay, that was awesome, man.
She is
That was
so
just
cute.
awesome. She is fantastic, man. She is so fantastic. Ruben Razor got on here and said she is way too cute. Thanks for making us laugh. Great show. Show was awesome. I mean, yeah, there's Taps. I just love her so much. This was a great show this evening. Thank you, Kayla and Fynleigh. Great tonight. I mean, we don't get that many comments typically. I think the secret is you get a 7-year-old on the show and let them talk about their trip. That's what you do.
Yeah, and you know that they used to have that show. The kids say the darndest things.
Yes.
And Kayla was not getting away with anything for sure.
Nothing. Like any secret she ever had about anything was being told tonight. That's for sure. I'm glad. It's a good thing we didn't ask any invasive questions because we would have gotten the answers tonight. Probably, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
Like she's in the green room right now, shaking her head yes because she knows that's true. Hey, here's a great question, Jeremiah, that needs to be asked. Do they know any good T-shirt companies for Jeremiah? Because we still don't have T-shirts, Jeremiah.
Hey, I'm working on T-shirts and stickers, man.
Is it happening, or is this for real, or are you just playing with my emotions at this point?
I'm working on it. So, full disclosure, we moved into this other house, and I am so behind on everything. Everything. It's just like a black hole of suck
Jeremiah,
when
you've
it
been
comes to my
behind.
time.
You've been behind on T-shirts for like 16,000 subscribers.
But I'm committed on progress and work. I know I sound like a politician.
Actually, you
I'm
sound
committed-
like T-Pain right now, but you
Oh.
can keep going.
I'm committed to moving forward with change, and that change will be merchandise at some point.
Okay. I
can't
have
get
to get the
deadline.
first T-shirt. I have to get the first T-shirt so I can wear it on this podcast.
Oh, I'll arrange for that.
So Jeremiah, who's on the show next week?
Next week, we have special guest. He is actually a friend of mine and Bridget's that we met through a mutual friend in college. And his day job, now he's travel nurse, but he was teaching nursing school, doctorate in nursing. But I asked him to come on the podcast because he had never backpacked and then decided to hop on, and he was doing kind of the van life and then did an extensive portion of the PCT. So I was like, man, I would love to hear we make all these videos about beginner backpacking and all this stuff. I love hearing the perspective of somebody that has no experience with it. And so I was like, let's do a full with him.
I like it, man. That's gonna be awesome. And in 2 weeks, we have a good friend of the show's, Hunter, and also Taps on the Trail. So, or Taps and Trail, I should say, not Taps on the Trail, Taps and Trail. She actually doesn't have the same last name as everybody else. So, but we're excited to have them on here, man. Like I followed them on Instagram throughout the entire AT, and we've known Hunter for a few years now, and Hunter's a great guy. And Taps, she just seems like she's a lot of fun. It'd be great to have them on the show. I am going to make every attempt to be on that night, but I will just let you know that night I'm supposed to be in the woods in Pennsylvania with Ben from Hilltop Packs. So in Pennsylvania. So I'm going to do my best to be, well, actually the night before I will be. So that night I'm going to be in a hotel, and I'm hopefully going to have everything set up and be able to talk online with you. So I'm hoping that I can make that work.
If I have to, I will carry the heavy burden of entertainment.
Yeah, you gotta get your internet fixed though, man. We can't have T-Pain leading the whole thing the whole time, you know. So
I'll fix it.
We're good, man. We're good. This has been a fun night, man. This has been a lot of fun. We're excited about next week. Thank you to everybody who has tuned in. Somebody asked what trail in Pennsylvania. I have no idea. I'm just gonna go and do whatever Ben tells me to do. So I'm pretty easy to deal with when I come into another state to somebody else's stomping grounds. So I'm just gonna go wherever I'm told. But great show tonight, man. Looking forward to next week. You got anything else you want to say before we get off of here?
No, thanks everybody. I appreciate you joining us. I had a lot of fun.
It was a good night. And for myself and Jeremiah Stringer, y'all have a good night.
Adios, folks.